Dave, you've grown a fantastic tomato crop here. I've been watching it on the website. I'm looking at it now. You've got blue, green, red. Now, I want you to explain to us how you've irrigated this crop.
Sure, it's been a bit of a working experiment, and it's been a lot of fun. So, start of summer, after Canberra winter with a bit of rain, it was blue at 20 centimeters, blue at 40 centimeters, blue at 60 centimeters. We obviously put our crop up here of tomatoes.
Yep.
And slowly watch them get their roots down to 20 centimeters, and this would go green, sometimes red, and then I'd water it back to green or blue. Over time, it started to get drier at 40 centimeters, so I knew the roots were starting to get down to 40 centimeters. And my goal was to try and get roots down to 60 centimeters,
Yep.
and to try and keep it dry there, so I
Okay.
don't leach
Okay, which you've
too
done.
many nutrients. Yeah.
Which you've done.
So eventually got it to red at 60 centimeters, so dry.
Yep.
And then managed my irrigation, trying to keep 20 and 40 either green or blue.
Okay, okay.
Sufficient water, but
Okay.
not leaching nutrients down
Yeah.
to the bottom.
And look, that's the perfect pattern. That's what we're always looking for. You're blue or green, you got water, but you definitely haven't got too much, because if you put on too much water, then you'd go back to blue here again. And the proofs on the website, we can see there was some heavy rain in the middle of the season,
Yeah.
where you went to blue at the bottom, but you've got it back to red again. Dave, in Tanzania where we work, the farmers have a saying. They say if the kinyonga is always blue, then the kibandera will go from purple to pink. Now
Okay.
you know what that means. So this
the
is
kinyonga, the chameleon.
kinyonga, Swahili, chameleon. If it's blue all the time, if you've got blue at all depths, you've probably got too much water moving.
Yeah.
The kibendera is the flag. They call this the flag. Okay. Wetting front detector. So we've got a video on using nitrate test strips, and when we started growing this crop, there was plenty of nitrogen up at the top and a bit less below. That's by the color. Okay, the dark purple means lots of nutrients. The light purple means a bit less. And then, of course, the rain comes and we have a bit less, like that. And in fact, it pushes the nitrogen down because the crop's tiny. Okay. And then a little bit later, we put a bit more water on, a bit more rain, and we've got nothing up here, and we've got it all down here. And that's why these two things are so important, because unless you can get your roots down to here and pulling the water out of this layer and putting the water out of this layer, you're not going to pull the nutrients out of this layer. So what we've got is that, which is what we want, because the nutrients have gone up, not down. Okay, Dave, so how's this changed the way you irrigate? Watching all these colours, I mean.
Yeah, it's been really interesting. I grew tomatoes last year and had the full stops.
Yep.
So I could tell when the water was getting down to 20 and 40 centimeters.
Yep.
So I knew how much, how far down the water was going. I could see that, but I didn't really know what was happening at the three depths.
Yeah.
And having this, I've really pretty much based all of my watering on what's actually happening in the soil.
Okay.
And I've been able to manipulate that, and you'll see if you look online, there's a few times where I was kind of really hoping it was going to rain, so letting it get pretty dry, and the rain didn't come, and then I
Okay.
had to give it a big
Okay, that
a
sounds
big
like an
watering.
excuse to me, but a couple of times, like when we took the site down to fix things, I got a text from you saying, I can't see my data. I mean, you don't need to look at it that often, do you?
Yeah, I don't know if I became a bit dependent on it, but I certainly enjoyed knowing what was going on.
Okay.
And I think in the past I probably watered for a short amount of time very often, every
Okay.
day or
Okay.
a couple times a day, whereas during the hotter days it was every day in the evening, but sometimes it was every 2 or 3 days depending on what was happening here.
Yeah. It's surprising when the when the crop's flowering, how much water it uses, and then it kind of tails off as the crop ripens up, and you just can't pick it unless you're measuring. Right, let's eat it.
You know I used to be alright when you woke me in the morning, waiting for the sun to shine. Do the two-step all night, then you spin me round and catch me laughing as the sun moves